What's up, Risers? A lot of news to cover. Big slate today. Let's get to work. Kevin Durant, TLC, both potentially out tonight. Of course, Durant is on the pine. We know TLC is guy playing 22, 24 minutes or so in reserve right now. If he ends up being out tonight, Bruce Brown's going to get a nice uptick in minutes as well. A very, very volatile option, but still an option at best. Gordon Hayward, Devontae Graham, Cody Zeller. Pay attention to all three of these guys. Graham we know is out. Zeller and Hayward were both scratched on Sunday. Pay attention to what happens to them. Interesting matchup there in Portland. Could be a very high-scoring affair. Nice, fast-paced game. Lots of opportunity for everybody. Now, if these guys don't miss, you're going to see a whole lot of P.J. Washington in my lineups again. He was one of my building blocks last night. The building blocks, man, those are taking off a little bit over at teamriseorfall.com. So start paying attention to what you all see there. P.J. Washington, power forward. Unfortunately, Draymond Green ruined things for me. Malik Monk was like 0 for 6 from outside. Monk would be another option I would go back to again tonight. P.J. Washington and Monk if we both see Hayward and Zeller out. C.D. Osman was somebody who was playing like 20-ish minutes or so after a stretch of like 35 per game because of back issues, and then ultimately was scratched this weekend. Pay attention to see what happens to him. If he comes back and plays Houston tonight, smash spot for him at 5.9 here on DraftKings. I would not mind that. I think his ownership would be incredibly low as well. J-Mike, Paul Millsap, Gary Harris continue to be out. Means Michael Porter Jr. is going to gobble up a ton of minutes. Monty Morris continue to likely start at shooting guard. And then you'll get a bunch of Campazzo off the bench. But MPJ, Jamal Murray, Jokic, they're really only three I'm looking at. Brogdon has missed 3 games. Pacers have lost 3 games. Let's see what happens to him coming back tonight. I don't like the price tag at 8.1K. Would not be a nice spot to come back against Ben Simmons' defense if he's active as well. Jeremy Lamb, pay attention there. Could be some uptick in minutes as well for Justin Holiday. And probably some few extra shots for Doug McDermott if Lamb ends up missing this game. We have Embiid at 10.6, Tobias Harris at 7.9K. Both of them are potentially going to miss tonight, potentially going to play tonight. They are questionable and literally as questionable as can be, as those two always are. You never know with a guy like Harris who hurt his knee mid-game the other day, and here he is questionable, and Embiid is just Mr. Glass. So when he's questionable, he's legitimately questionable, often a game-time decision. So we'll have to pay attention. Nice matchup here, though. Both should be fine if they play. Keldon Johnson, Derek White, Rudy Gay, Vassell, the latter three are out. Johnson is questionable. Oh, so many questionables today. If he's back today, this is a health protocol thing. So if he's back today, he likely plays a full allotment of minutes, 34, 36 minutes. They need a body to soak up minutes. He's been a minute soaker all year. If he does not play, then you're going to continue to see plenty of minutes for guys like Lonnie Walker, and a few others on the team that probably aren't totally worth using. DeRozan being back was helpful last game for them as a unit, but fantasy-wise, all these guys are slightly priced up at this point. So Deontay Murray's lost a little bit of his luster at his current price tag with bodies returning, and I don't know if I'd really be on a single spur tonight, that's for sure. So how can we put this stuff together? How can we start to make some lineups? Here's some early indications of where I'd like to go. So the initial one I already had talked about was P.J. Washington. After that, if we end up having this issue here tonight, which I think we will, it's going to be the decision. What do you want to do here? If we have Embiid out, you have a huge decision. Do you want to pay, we're talking single entry, do you want to pay up for a guy like Ben Simmons or Kyrie Irving, right? So you've got Kyrie, who would be in a nice spot tonight no matter what. Absolutely. But I feel like to some extent you're seeing a ceiling that is capped. 9.1K, a great price, but capped because of James Harden. Now, James Harden at this price tag, 11K, very tough to pay up for, in my opinion. When you have all of these guys with massive upsides, including Jamal Murray as of late, right here at this 8 and 9K price tag. The interesting play to me tonight is if Embiid is out, this offense will play very fast with Ben Simmons tonight. And Ben Simmons, we know when Embiid is out, he has this very, very high ceiling. Do you want to pay for Simmons, Murray, LaMelo? You have a lot of options here, a lot of options, even D-Mitch here over Kyrie Irving. You can go up to Damian Lillard. You can go up to Doncic, Harden, Kyrie. I don't know. The price tags are just delicious to me tonight. I think for me, it's either I'm paying all the way up for James Harden or I'm going to hover right here. Irving, Murray, Simmons, Ball, Mitchell. It's these 5. I kind of skip Lillard and Doncic. I'm going with Harden and then them. Other than that, There's not a lot of guys I'm really paying up for. Darius Garland made my building blocks list. Again, the one you saw over here, my core builds last game that he had played. Now his price tag rocketed up from 6.6 to 6.9. I'm a little uncomfortable there at 6.9K. Matchup is nice, though. I suppose you could go back to the well. But for me, I'm going down the salary scale a little bit if we're doing that. I'm going to Kobe White. If Mike Conley's still out, I'm going to Jordan Clarkson. Pay attention. I think Conley just missed for hamstring. He is available tonight, but, Jordan Clarkson, I don't mind. Joe Ingles, I'm paying down for. Jalen Brunson here at 5.2K slightly interests me. Eric Bledsoe slightly interests me at 5.3K. If he's going to be taking double-digit shots, finally, the upside is 35, 40 points every night. So Bledsoe likely is one of those other players I want to pay for. Now, at the center position, the other position I think is incredibly important tonight, you got guys like Zion playing out of their mind in a very tough matchup now against Utah. Do you want to go with a guy who has probably the most consistent player at his price tag in the entire slate against Rudy Gobert? Or do you want to grab one of those like value type plays somewhere else in the slate and see if you can make up the points elsewhere? Miles Turner, not a good matchup if Embiid plays, is somebody that interests me a little bit here, especially if they're missing some bodies tonight at 6.2K. I'm always a Miles Turner sucker. On the flip side, if instead of paying up for Sabonis and Williamson, you could pay down for Rudy Gobert against the Pelicans at 7.4K, basically priced at his value. What I mean by that is this. If you look at his game logs here, 5.3, 5.7, 5.1, 7.5. When he misses, he's barely missing. 4.3, 4.5, 4.0. Not going to sink your lineup, but has that upside to help you win the slate. So a guy like Rudy Gobert, a fine option tonight, in my opinion. Outside of that, it's going to be a whole lot of throwing darts tonight. It's a lot of very volatile players everywhere at all these different price tags. You got guys like Wendell Carter Jr. has been playing well, but now he faces Jokic. He's got foul issues all the time. Potentially puts a guy like Thaddeus Young as a sneaky play who would get a lot more minutes if Wendell Carter Jr. runs into foul trouble. So that's one actually very interesting play as I think it through. If we think that we're going to see WCJ here end up with a bunch of fouls against Joker, Thaddeus Young, man, that's a sneaky spot there. Already providing value with low 20s minutes. I mean, minutes-wise, likely would go up to 30, 31 or so. Something to think about, pay attention to tonight. LMA came back, played 23 minutes. Just the ceiling's just not there with him. Jared Allen here, I guess, is a good play at 8.5K. Another guy similar to Rudy Gobert, where just kind of hitting value every game, exceeding value every game. Finally didn't hit value and still scored 33. Not going to ruin your day. Didn't help you, but won't ruin it per se. So Jared Allen, a fine option, likely a cash game option tonight, should absolutely feast on Houston down low as we see just get bullied as of late. All right, my friends, listen, you want the building blocks? DraftKings, FanDuel, you want all the other stuff that we have on the website for less than $1 a day for every single sport. I don't blame you. I mean, we've got a crazy projection sheet for every single sport. This thing is so comprehensive. Has player ratings, has player projections, projected minutes, floor, ceiling. We have different proprietary numbers that we use, ownerships. We cover all sorts of trends, Vegas, pace, recent games against opponent, fantasy point trend, minute trend, usage trend, value scores, and then a simulation model hidden over here. We have this for DraftKings, FanDuel, Superdraft, a projections copy-paste for Fantasy Cruncher if you want to upload it into FC or whatever you're using. Hopefully you're using FC, the best optimizer. If you don't, it makes all the sense in the world for you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button because you get $20 to use on FC every single day. And if you're already an FC user, you can use that $20 towards what you have. That's nuts. You end up getting us for $9.99 per month if you do that. $9.99. Less than 33 cents a day? That's craziness. On top of that, it's not just NBA. I just happen to be only streaming NBA. You have yesterday, NASCAR, $385 in, 8.4K returned. Here's another one here. $670 in, $2,000 returned. Single entry building blocks, guy made $50 on a single lineup. Another person had $226, $589 in for MME. I mean, whether it's MME, whether it's PGA, my goodness, man. People winning hundreds of dollars in PGA too. Took $150 down on Yahoo. I mean, a nice MME spread here on the, was it 25 center? Over on PGA. I mean, these guys are doing work over their PGA and NASCAR, and we have the cheat sheets for those. We have the cheat sheets for those, and we have content, player picks, building blocks, different models and all sorts of really cool stuff. Then we have these types of models over here for PGA and NASCAR as well. And I'm actually going to do a NASCAR video. This is for Cup, Xfinity, and Trucks, by the way. I'm actually going to do a NASCAR video starting this week. People have been asking for it, so I'm going to start doing those again. Did those, I don't know, back in probably May through August. And then NFL came around, and I started just doing other sports. Hit the sub button, hit that like button. A lot of free content every single day, my friends. A lot of free content. Early morning video, which you're watching. A stream at 11:30. A stream at 5:30. And then usually a fourth video if I can get to it and the kids are good during the day. So a lot of good content. Hit that sub button. Hit that like button. Smash that notification button. You're going to need that one. Drop a comment down below. I'll post some free stuff in the comment section. And in the description section, there's more for you as well. Sometimes some free cheat sheets. So you're going to want to browse that. And I'll see you in the morning. Hopefully I'll see you at those stream times. Take care.